Marvel used to be unstoppable, but now, it's like they're speedrunning their downfall. Captain America: Brave New World is shaping up to be one of the most controversial MCU movies in years, and not in a good way. From behind-the-scenes chaos to a plot that feels uninspired, this might be the moment Marvel truly loses its grip. So, what went wrong? Let's break it down. Remember when Marvel movies felt like well-oiled machines? That's not the case anymore. Brave New World has gone through reshoots, script rewrites, and even a last-minute title change. Originally called New World Order, the studio quietly rebranded the film, likely to avoid conspiracy theory backlash. But the problems go deeper than just the name. Sources say test screenings were a disaster. Early audiences reportedly found the movie boring and messy, forcing Marvel to delay the release and throw in some major reshoots. And guess who they called in to save the day? Allegedly, Harrison Ford's Red Hulk. Yes, Marvel is once again relying on last-minute CGI-heavy characters to patch up a weak story. Speaking of Red Hulk, let's talk about that. General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross has always been a complex character in Marvel's history. First introduced as a relentless military leader hunting down the Hulk, Ross later transforms into Red Hulk, gaining gamma-powered strength that rivals Bruce Banner himself. But instead of a well-thought-out build-up to his transformation, Marvel seems to be rushing it just to add another super-powered entity into the mix. And let's not forget the budget. Reports suggest that Marvel has spent hundreds of millions on this project, making it one of the most expensive Captain America movies ever. Yet, with all the money thrown in, the final product still seems directionless. This raises the question, is Marvel prioritizing quantity over quality? Even worse, some insiders claim that there were clashes behind the scenes. Studio executives reportedly pushed for rewrites that clashed with the director's vision, leading to creative differences. If that sounds familiar, it's because it's the same pattern we've seen in recent MCU disappointments. Now, let's talk about the actual movie. What is Brave New World even about? Well, Sam Wilson is settling into his role as the new Captain America. But instead of focusing on his personal struggles or a meaningful villain, the movie reportedly jumps between politics, conspiracy plots, and more government corruption. Sound familiar? Yeah, it feels like The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but with less impact. Sam Wilson's journey to becoming Captain America was one of the most well-handled parts of the Disney Plus shows. He didn't just pick up the shield, he earned it. But instead of giving him a powerful, standalone film that cements his place as Steve Rogers' true successor, it looks like Brave New World is turning him into just another piece of Marvel's puzzle. His internal struggle, his need to prove himself in a world that doubts him, should be the main focus. Instead, it looks like he'll be overshadowed by a bigger spectacle again. And what about legacy characters? Well, rumors indicate that Isaiah Bradley and Joaquin Torres will return, but instead of meaningful development, they might just be used as side characters to keep the plot moving. We've seen this issue before, Marvel stuffing too many characters into one film, leaving none of them with enough screen time to shine. Also, let's talk about one of the strangest rumors. Marvel is reportedly setting up a new version of the Thunderbolts in this movie. But why? Instead of making a solid Captain America film, they're using this as a stepping stone for another franchise. This has been a major issue with the MCU. Films are no longer allowed to just tell a good story. They always have to set up something else. But let's be real, this isn't just about one movie. Marvel has been struggling. The post-Endgame era has been filled with forgettable villains, rushed scripts, and CGI-heavy finales that lack heart. Movies like Ant-Man: Quantumania and The Marvels failed to impress at the box office. And if Marvel thought Brave New World would turn things around, they might be in for a rude awakening. And let's talk about the fan reaction. Ever since the Disney Plus era began, there's been a growing divide between die-hard MCU fans and casual audiences. Some believe the franchise has lost its magic, while others think it's just in a rough patch. But the truth is, declining ticket sales don't lie. If Marvel doesn't fix their formula soon, audiences might start tuning out permanently. And then there's the superhero fatigue argument. Is the MCU's biggest problem simply too much content? Think about it. We're getting multiple shows, spin-offs, and sequels every year. The excitement of a new Marvel movie has been replaced with the feeling of, oh, another one already? Instead of building hype, they're overwhelming audiences. So now that Captain America: Brave New World has finally hit theaters, was it worth the wait? Unfortunately, the answer is no. Despite all the delays and reshoots, the final product still feels rushed and uninspired. The action sequences are decent, but the story? It's bloated, unfocused, and filled with half-baked character arcs. Sam Wilson, who should be the heart of this movie, is once again pushed aside in favor of setup, for future projects. Red Hulk, underwhelming. His transformation and presence in the film feel more like a gimmick than a real threat. And the political thriller aspects? They don't carry the weight they should. Instead of being a gripping, thought-provoking story, it just feels like another generic MCU entry. Marvel had a chance to prove they could still deliver great movies post-Endgame, but they dropped the ball again. So, what's next? At this point, Marvel needs to go back to basics. Compelling characters, strong standalone stories, and actual stakes. Otherwise, they're heading straight into irrelevance. What did you think of Captain America: Brave New World? Was it better or worse than expected? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the MCU.